Hi guys, I'm Alison. I'm a DVD addict and I am going to talk to you about a film called The Lady in Water. Here it is. It's rated 12 due to moderate violence. It's based on a child's bedtime story that they used to tell in the olden days. The beginning few segments talks about how man and the ones that lived in the water were connected, why they become separated. Then it continues to explain that the ones in the water are trying to reach man again by sending their children into our world in the dead of night. But they have enemies that are supposed to rule the land, which isn't man. Man may have forgotten how to listen to them. The first character you meet is a man called Cleveland. It continues to introduce some main characters. The young nymph's name is Story. Cleveland doesn't know that at first. First of all, Cleveland tries to get Story back into the water where she lives, and that is where they meet the creature, which later in the film they reveal the name of the creature. 22 minutes into the film, Cleveland finds out that Story could be a nymph, a sea nymph. She's only meant to be seen by one chosen human, a vessel human that tells her something important, and then she can return back to the water with a great eagle that comes to collect her. The main characters live in flats, all connected. The man Story is meant to meet is a writer who is writing something important. Cleveland tries to find the writer, which 59-55 minutes into the film, while Story finds Cleveland's personal journal. Cleveland explains to this bloke that he needs to meet someone. He makes up a story that he's forgotten something. He didn't give him something to get him back to his house. The writer's name is Vic. Cleveland then takes Vic to meet Story. It's a good scene. Not much is said between Vic and Story. The Vic just says hi and it's quiet, and then Cleveland and Vic have a conversation. 28 minutes into the film, Story again tries to return home but is attacked by the creature. This time she leaves on her own without Cleveland. He sees her comes running in, and Cleveland calls it a dog. He basically says that dog tried to attack you again. Cleveland then takes Story to Vic's house, the writer. Cleveland later learns the dog who attacked Story is called a scrunt. Story has a mode code key that is meant to protect her and can cure them. It's kept where they live. Only a rogue scrunt will break the laws of the special night where the nymph, the sea nymph, is meant to return. Only rogue scrunts break the law of the night because all the other scrunts are afraid of Tortortic. They are the law keepers. They were born evil. They killed their mothers not long after they were born. They are law keepers who help keep justice in the blue world. Cleveland tries to find Story's key to help heal her. 45 minutes into the film, Cleveland learns that Story could be a Madame Nymph. Is a queen. That is a queen in her world. and that's why the Scrunt is trying to attack her to prevent her going back home, because they find her very important. Cleveland again takes Story to Vic in Vic's apartment. She explains to him why he is so important to the world. Cleveland tries his best to find out about the bedtime story from a Chinese woman whose daughter he's been getting some information off of. Because he sat down and listened to it, they learn some stuff. So back at Vic's, they learn about humans with powers, because another Vic's sister sits Story in the shower and says, like, do pull your hair or ear or point to something if it's right, and don't do anything if it's wrong. So Story tries to help them without actually saying anything, because if she says something, she gets ill. They learn that these people that they don't know who they are unconsciously drawn to live near the vessel, aka Vic. They don't know who they are, as already said, and they don't know how they can help. They always appear earlier in the story, as Cleveland had been told previous to that. There is a guardian, a healer, a guild, a translator / interpreter. Story tries to help Cleveland and gets it wrong. That's where the hair, the ear, and pointing to things. Though she tried to help because she doesn't really know who they are, but she had a feeling of, she thought she had a good guess. Later on in the film, Cleveland is sent to find these people, and he thinks it's, first of all, he thinks that it's young boys who sit around and do nothing all day. There's a young bloke who does word puzzles, and he thinks that's the interpreter. And Cleveland and Story get it wrong, and Story is attacked once more due to the fact that it was wrong and they weren't the actual people that were supposed to protect her. 1 hour into the film, Vic finishes his book he's been writing, and he sits down and talks to Story. 1 hour 14, Cleveland and the wrong set of people tried to get Story home, and as I said, she's attacked. Cleveland learns that he's had it wrong. He learns that he's got the wrong people. One of the main characters from the beginning is then killed off screen by the Scrunt. There's a young boy whose name is Joey, and he reads the cereal, so he reads backs of box cereals, so he's the interpreter. The guild is made up of 7 sisters, and then it goes on to say, it goes on later in the film to explain that there are 7 sisters, 5 of which live in one building. Vic's sister is 6, and the Chinese woman's daughter is 7. They're not all related, but they live near the vessel, which is good enough. So though that group then tries to help Story get back into the water, there is a really great scene after that bit where there's this bloke called Reggie, and he's just holding his plate in his hand, and he sees the Scrunt, and obviously because he's the guardian, he's got mind power. You can do it with your mind to tell him to back down. Cleveland is the healer, and he manages to heal Story because she's had scratches on her legs. They watch Story be picked up by the eagle as Reggae, the guardian, protects, keeps the Scrunt away to protect them from being attacked. The last part of the film is well made. The only downfall I see of this film is a the story has no emotion in her face. It's all completely serious looking. That's the only downfall. They should have got a better actor to play Story. But well, as always, it's better for you to watch and have your own opinion. Next time I will be talking to you about this film, The Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, with Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie. Haven't seen it yet, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. On a completely different subject to DVDs, I'm new to YouTube. I've been watching a couple of videos, and there's one Justine Ihor, as one of my friends on here states, how to eat a cheeseburger. She pretends that she's serving and she's the customer at the same time. Who in their right mind takes a knife, a fork, a plate and a whole bottle of ketchup to a takeaway shop and sits in and eats it? No, you eat it with your hands. So if I can show you. I don't know if you could see that, but that is my friend who rants about her. It's pretty funny. You can watch it yourselves, and I'll see you later.